Setting up a filing system seems easy, right? But it's not. Why? And why is it that every single file cabinet you see ends up looking like this? We have some typed tabs, some handwritten tabs, hidden tabs, basically tabs and data everywhere in every kind of format. And it's not for a lack of trying, it's because the system is working against you. But the real danger is that these files are some of the most important assets we have in business. So what makes traditional filing so difficult? The labels, of course. Attempting to use some sort of descriptive label forces us to put them in alphabetical order, and that presents a whole host of problems, just one of which is creating the label. Traditionally, if you're going to file a document, you're going to need some of these, and some of these, or maybe some of these. And then the challenges set in. If we're organized, we're going to want to type or print our tabs. But how? Putting those tiny little tabs in a printer, well, that's impossible. Using larger pre-cut tab sheets is a pain, because we also have to have a template software to make things line up. And if I'm only printing one tab, I just wasted an entire sheet. And using a typewriter, well, I haven't even seen a typewriter in the last 10 years. And even if I did all those things perfectly, where then do I file it so I can quickly find it later? Alphabetically? Great. Then where? Do I move all the existing tabs to make room for my new tab? Or do I create alphabetical groupings like A, B, or C, where I'm faced with the exact same problem, piling documents on top of one another only to have to dig through them when I need them? This is why every filing cabinet you see eventually ends up looking like this. And how much time were we wasting creating the tab, filing the tab, looking for the software, and even attempting to find the files later? Remember, when it comes to business, time and efficiency equal money. Because of this, many people have started scanning in their paper documents, but that presents a problem as well. First, if you're like our office, it would take about a year to scan in all of our documents. And there are many times when we have original signatures or images that we need those paper documents. And all of this just leads to confusion. These are just some of the reasons why filing can be overwhelming. But what if I told you about an app that allowed you to file any kind of document in only a few seconds? And suppose that app gave you the flexibility to use paper files or scanned in files, along with all the others. And suppose it was easy to use, easy to understand, where all those files were on the same page. Welcome to FileMaster. You see, instead of typing those confusing alphabetical tabs, FileMaster uses an ingenious numeric-based system, which makes filing easy. So when you're ready to file a document, you simply name it, choose a location, and file. And your virtual files, well, they're in the same place. And to recap, those are just data files, either a scanned in PDF or JPEG, maybe something that somebody emailed me or something that I scanned in. These are all virtual files. And again, what makes this so powerful is its simplicity. All your files are in one place. It really doesn't matter if it's a paper file in an actual hanging folder, or a virtual file scanned in documents or just data, or receipts or catalogs. All these things, in effect, are files. So why not have a program where everything's right before you? You simply search for what you're looking for, and everything's on the same page. We purchased a home a few years ago, and it's on Garrison Avenue. When I created the file, I entered some tags to help me find it. One of them is home. So I could search for Garrison or home. Hit enter, and that'll take us to a list of any file that has home as a tag or a file name. And here's our file. Now before we proceed, here's what we're looking at in FileMaster. You can see the file name goes here, the file folder number, the location of the file or file cabinet, and here are the tags. We'll talk a little more about those in a minute. So for our home file, you can see here we have some physical documents in file number 1 in our tall cabinet. These are paper documents. Here are the tags that we talked about: home, mortgage, title, appraisal. We can search by any of these to pull up the file. You'll also notice we have some receipts for this file. Whenever I pay my taxes or insurance or mortgage payment, if I have a receipt, I'm going to put it in this file. Remember, everything's on the same page. And right down here, we have some contact information and some notes. And down at the bottom, we have all of our other scanned in documents, such as the appraisal, the mortgage, title, comparable photos. We can have as many documents as we want, and I'll never have to go searching around my office again. They're all right here. Now let me show you the best part, how easy it is to create a file just like this. Let's file an insurance policy for our boat. Just click to create a new file, give it a name, choose the folder and number location. I'll put this in file number 15 at my desk. And give it some helpful tags. Tags are the most important part of our system, which allow you to search by name and/or tag with a click of the button. The company name is Glacier Insurance, but we probably won't remember that in a year or two. So by entering tags like boat or auto, if it's an auto insurance policy also, or maybe even our insurance agent's name, Bob Jones, we'll be able to pull that file up in seconds a year from now. Keep in mind, when you search in FileMaster, it searches all the fields: name, tags, contact information, websites, emails, and even phone numbers. So our insurance document is in file number 15 at our desk. Let's go ahead and file our document. And here's number 15 at our desk. Now let's search for our policy. And for fun, we'll just search for boat. And look, here is a list of every file pertaining to our boat. It looks like there are 3 files, all having the tag boat. We have our bank information right here. We've got some information from our marina in our virtual file. And yes, there's our insurance policy, just like that. And here's another benefit. Suppose we have some financial documents or PIN numbers or profit and loss statements that we don't necessarily want others to be able to see. To lock a file, just tell FileMaster that it needs to be locked. Now, all pertinent information is hidden. To access your hidden files, you just simply have to type in your PIN code into a hidden field that doesn't even show up on the page. You can make this PIN anything you want in the admin section. Now there's more. Receipts are also files, but the difference is receipts are only kept for 1 calendar year. Then they're usually purged and stored for taxes. Therefore, you will most likely want to have a small filing cabinet just for receipts, something that's super easy to access because you'll be adding receipts every day. And at the end of the year, you simply purge them. And with the FileMaster system, instead of having to group your receipts in large categories like home repairs that could get out of hand very quickly, why not give every store their own file? This ensures that you can find any receipt in seconds. And because it's possible to have both a hard file and a receipt tied to the same account, we give you both options. Suppose for a minute you have a file for a large big box store that you sell advertising to. They're an account of yours, so you probably have multiple hard files stored by your desk or in an archive. But you might also shop there, which means you have some personal receipts that you file in your receipt bin. With FileMaster, this is easy. You simply create the file and then tell FileMaster that there are some receipts also. Now, just like before, we choose a location and we're done. So for this entry, we have our hard file at our desk, file number 22, and we also have a receipt in the receipt bin, file number 15, which at the end of the year we'll purge and save for taxes. Now let's look at those virtual files. Those were the scanned in documents or image files that we talked about before. And what's important to know is how a program links to those files. You see, traditionally, your image files would probably be in some photo folder somewhere on your computer. Your PDFs would be somewhere else with some scans. And all these files would be scattered all over your computer. But not with FileMaster. FileMaster makes a copy of those documents, puts it in the program, in the file that you're working on. So you no longer have to search around your computer to find the documents you're looking for. And that is a very important feature. FileMaster doesn't just link to your documents, so if someone accidentally moves it or deletes it, you lose it forever. FileMaster keeps a copy of that document in the program itself, so you never have to worry about accidentally moving or deleting a file again. It's always there for you and easy to find in seconds. Let's look a little closer. If you remember earlier, we looked at a file that we created for our mortgage. So we like to have all the pertinent documents and information in one file. So let's do a search for mortgage because I know that's one of the tag words we used. You can see it here. And as we scroll down, you can see there's an appraisal, a copy of the mortgage, a copy of the title policy, and now let's add in some comparable sales. We simply click the Add To icon and then drag in our file. We'll give it a file name and a date, and enter it in. Now FileMaster has just made a copy of that document and it's in the program. Notice on the screen that file still exists. We can delete it, move it, or attach it to a different file. It doesn't matter what we do with it because the file that we uploaded will always be in FileMaster in that file and will never get lost. Now if we want to view our document, we simply click on View and we can see a thumbnail version. We can make it a little larger if we like. And if we want to see it full screen, just click right here for preview. We have a full screen view of the document. And if we want to share it, we can download it back onto our desktop. We can email it or whatever we like. And that is how simple it is to work with any document in FileMaster. So here's what you get when you order: the application and some file tabs. We provide you with enough file tabs to get any small office up and running. And if you ever need any more, they're only a click away. So let's move your important documents into the 21st century, and you will become a file master.